In studio with the Hall of Famer, Matt Miller. Good morning, Matty.
Good morning.
He is the tallest co-host we've ever had at 6 feet 7 inches tall, Jonathan Bodwell. Johnny the Bod.
Good morning, Rob. I'm thinking about getting a license plate, man.
Johnny the Bod?
I'm thinking JT Bod.
JT
Johnny
Bod.
the Bod. I mean, I figure if the Badger can get one, I can get one, you know?
You know, this is what we need. More personalized nameplates that I bestow the nickname upon the person to
You
get.
are the nickname bestower. That actually, when you pass away eventually, I think that needs to go on your headstone. He was the nickname bestower, the king of all nickname bestowers.
This is a disturbing conversation, Matt.
Well, we're not going to do it anytime soon,
We don't know. That's the thing.
You could,
You may have a friend in the headstone business who needs to make quota this quarter, and, you know, hey, I got a guy for you.
Well, that's and just to bring up a quick funny subject, you see these ads on television. Don't give up your life insurance policy. We will buy your life insurance
Yes, I've
policy.
seen those.
Do you want somebody
No.
that you've never met before to profit a couple $100,000 by your death?
No, I can't believe it. People haven't seen the problem with that industry.
Business is bad, Joe. Let's go find a couple of the policyholders we bought.
Yeah.
I always remember an ad on the station on the other side of town years ago. You were there back in the day, so you may remember, for an insurance agency. And it was just like there was no real good way to word this. And so the wording was, if you or a loved one has been killed or injured in an accident, reach out to this law firm. And it was like, if you've been killed in an accident, reach out to this law firm. The wording just didn't quite, work.
Haunting you from the grave, right?
Everyone will die except for the Highlander, but there can be only one. So if you do need life insurance at some point, you're always welcome to reach out to me.
Jonathan Bodwell.
Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance.
Got an office now.
Yep, got a great office.
Commercial looks great, by the way, man.
The commercial is amazing, Rob.
The boys did a great job.
Colin and the guys, I mean, Nick and Colin did an amazing job putting that together for me. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, very nice. First time I saw it, I just sent you a quick text and, hey, man, that looks great.
I mean, it's let me just give a plug to the station here. I mean, you're a small market. It's a small station, limited budget, obviously, as everyone is. But the way you guys do things so professionally and just above and beyond on every aspect of the station. The morning show, the sports guys, everything is just top drawer. And it's the way everybody pitches in and everybody works together as a team. The atmosphere that Mike Hornby has here is just something. It's something really impressive that all small businesses look to do. To have people who care that much, work that hard, and really just do a good job. Everything's top drawer.
We appreciate the love.
Yeah, man. Well,
let's welcome in now our next guest, by the way, from Parks and Rec, Joe Burton. Joe, good to see you back.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here, sir. I missed last week. I was out, and when I returned, I heard a news story that Colin was running in regards to an after-school program, and I think you had mentioned it in your previous appearance, but now it sounds like it's actually up and running and ready to go here. Joe, can you explain?
It's getting really close to kickoff, actually, with the first day of school coming up, August 18th or 19th. That's going to be the first day of our after-school program. So this is kind of an extension of what we already do in the summer for our summer adventure camp. Mm-hmm. And we see the need for childcare is everywhere, and we thought this is something that we can do. We have a little window of availability in our gyms and our buildings where we could bring kids in after school, give them some fun things, some projects to do, and some activities to engage in, and keep them for the parents until 6 p.m. So that's the plan.
How many can you take?
Well, our maximum is going to be 64 kids at each location. So we'll do this at Randy Smith Center to serve a collection of elementary and intermediate schools in South Berkeley, and then we'll also take 64 kids in Berkeley 2000 to serve the Martinsburg area also.
How do you apply, and is it first come, first serve, basically?
It is first come, first serve, and registration's already up online. We haven't done a whole lot to promote it yet. We've put a couple posts out, and then you guys are kind enough to run those ads for us. But immediately after putting this on our website, even before we did any advertising at all, I think we had 2 or 3 registrations immediately. Yeah. So it's kind of eye-opening. We know there's a need. We were almost hoping it would be a couple months of build-up to give us a chance to, get a feel for this new program. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of build-up. I think there's a need for it. We're going to fill it pretty fast.
So will there be special buses running from the schools to the rec centers?
Right. So we've worked with Berkeley County Schools has been a great partner to speak to about this. And what they're doing is these won't be necessarily special buses. It's buses that are going from these schools near the rec center anyway. So it's just a matter of getting kids in these schools to identify which school they're coming from, that they're going to ride the bus. And this will be a weekly communication we'll have to have with those schools. These are the kids this week. So it's a weekly program. You don't have to commit to 6 months in advance. You can sign your kid up for 1 week at a time. And it's all a week ahead to give us some time to communicate with schools and to check that bus list and to know who's supposed to get on the bus to the rec center today. That'll be ongoing communication with the schools, and the buses will bring those kids.
What is the cost, and are there programs to help with families that can't afford whatever the cost is?
So for right now, it's $100 a week. And there's currently not a program that we are aware of that would help pay for this. There are some other, when you get more into a daycare operation, then there are some programs like I believe Mountain Heart is one.
Right. I was just wondering if you guys had a sliding scale or something like that just within your protocols.
Currently, we do not.
And that's $100 per child.
It's $100.
So if you have
per
3
child
kids
per week.
that are going to go, that's $300 per week, right?
And what are the hours on it?
So it's whenever the bus gets you there. The drop-off is going to vary a little bit. So it'll be from 3:30 to 4-ish, somewhere in that range, until 6 p.m.
Okay. So roughly, it's 5 days a week.
5 days a week.
So roughly $10 an hour per kid. That's that's not bad these days. And they'll be doing, what sort of activities are they going to be doing? They'll be playing basketball and.
Yep. So there'll be an opportunity for any of the gym sports that we offer. So we've got volleyball set up. We'll have basketball. We have pickleball. Any other activities they want to do in the gym space. But in addition to that, they do some scheduled arts and crafts activities, some more stationary time for kids to work on homework, do some reading, things like that.
Well, I think it's great because most kids these days, unfortunately, we see kids running around my neighborhood when my kids were young. You don't see kids now. This will keep the kids from going straight home and sitting in front of the video games or their phones.
What is it going to mean for you as far as staff members and or volunteers that are going to be able to be there to help facilitate?
It's going to be a new level of staffing for us. So we are going to bring on 1 full-time person to be a coordinator of this program. And that's kind of a half a position, really, because right now we're hiring a seasonal coordinator to help run our summer program all through the weeks of summer. So the full-time position will take the place of that seasonal position, and this person will head up all of our camps. In addition to the after-school program we're going to have on days off school, we'll have a full-day program that we will offer on spring break. Then we'll offer a week-long camp for that period of time. So this person will be busy year-round coordinating all of these events and activities as we go.
Do you see this making up your big budget shortfall? Because I know. Well, I'm thinking, 64 kids, 100 apiece,
Yeah.
2 spots. That's $12,800 a week.
Yeah.
I think that really. It's a great service, but I think it also will help you guys in the long run.
Right.
To try to find. Because you were talking about that last time. You're always looking for new funding sources and new ways that you can provide more things for the youth of our county.
Absolutely, and this will help. It will be one more source of revenue that we don't currently have. We're projecting a little over $100,000 a year in profit after we've paid all of our part-time staff and full-time staff and supplies for the program. Somewhere in that. So will that help? Absolutely. Every bit helps.
Joe, if it works well, will you do this all summer as like an all-day deal during the summer, like you're saying you're doing during? Because I know you have little camps and stuff. But will you, if this works, and it works especially like through spring break where you're doing it all day, are you going to do this all summer?
So we already do. What I'm describing as a camp, we call it a camp because we treat each week as a week-long camp.
Okay.
So in each week, there's a series of events that the kids get to do. There's a field trip where they might go all the way down to D.C., like they just went to the Air and Space Museum.
Nice.
They might go to Topgolf. They might go up to Cacapen to the beach, things like that. Then once a week they get to go to one of our parks and spend time in one of the parks besides the rec centers themselves. Once a week they go to the pools. So there's a whole series of events that happens every week. So we treat it as a standalone camp. Some kids only come do 1 week. Some kids do the entire summer. So that program would continue, and that's a full day program.
Right.
They drop them off as early as 7:30 in the morning. Some kids don't get picked up till 5 p.m.
How many kids are you able to serve in those summer
In the
camp
summer camp?
programs as opposed to maybe the 64 at 2 locations in the school program?
We sell out so quickly at Berkeley 2000, so we've been increasing the numbers, really pushing our limits of what we can handle. So we take 64 kids at Berkeley 2000, and at Randy Smith Center it was 32, and this summer we expanded to 64. So far this summer we have registrations for about 1,100, I think 30 kids, which is up about 200 kids from last summer.
Do you feed the kids with? Are you planning to for the after school?
There'll be a
Lunch hour?
snack,
Yeah. And then is there room for expansion of that 64 at each facility going down the line?
It's a little bit tight, honestly. 64 is what we feel we can do with adequate part-time staff to help out. Then we start getting into some spatial problems because it's not the only program that we'll run. Randy Smith Center, we've got kids coming in right after school lets out for practices. Musselman uses that facility 5 days a week at least. So we want to save gym time for the school programs. At Berkeley 2000, we run a lot of open gym programs right after school, like 3 to 5 p.m. range. We still want to allow room for those programs. A lot of kids count on that. They come right from middle school and they come play basketball for a couple hours. So we don't want to cut those programs out. So it's balancing the needs of the community.
You said it's a week-to-week commitment. If I know I need this 3 weeks this month and then 3 weeks next month, but I'm afraid if I fall out for a week, my spot would be replaced and I can't get back in. Is that a genuine fear?
It is a genuine fear. It's first come, first serve. So as we get busy, and like I said, I don't think it's going to take a long time for us to get sold out. That could happen.
So could a parent say, okay, I want, September, I want week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then October, I only want 1, 3, and 4, and November, I want 1 and 4.
Yeah, you can
you
pick your
register ahead of time for all that and reserve your spot? So
Sure.
that would alleviate that problem.
Sure, and people do the same thing with their summer program.
Right.
You're on vacation this week, so we're taking that week out, but we still want these 3 weeks here and these 2 over here. Yeah, sure.
Great program.
Do you use sibling discounts?
We currently do not.
Okay. Matt?
What is the difference between the after-school program and what you just mentioned as still needing to keep room for open gyms where you've got kids that just come in and are playing basketball? So how do they kind of work together, or how are they different?
Hold on, I'm answering that.
Okay. Mic issue?
Are we good
Now
now?
you can answer it.
Okay. So all of our open gym programs are kind of a no commitment type deal. Okay. You come in and pay the day you want to play. So you're not signing up for anything in advance. You can come in and play pickleball, volleyball, basketball, whatever our open gym happens to be. You pay the money that day and you come and play for a few hours. So we get a lot of participation on that, and kids come and go. They might have practice a couple days a week where they don't come. Other days they want to come to the open gym.
What is
the
that
fee
each
on-
day?
oh,
I just
sorry.
wanted to ask the price. When you said they pay something each day,
So we currently raised our rates on almost everything, trying to deal with our budget shortfall. So it's currently $5. It was $3 last year. It's $5 this year.
That was exactly my question. We were thinking the same thing at the same time, my friend.
and I got $5, I can go play, right?
Yeah.
Or do I have to
Come
be a
play.
certain age?
Yeah, for some of the open gyms you do. Yeah.
Okay.
We put age limitations on them. Yeah.
So it's not like AAU where you can say you're, 9 and you can be 16 and go in and dunk on kids.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm taking Johnny with me, and
we're
just lobbing it inside to him the whole
We're
day.
going to go in and shut out some 12-year-olds.
That movie Benchwarmers. You got any ID to get $5 bill? I am 12. Looks good to me. Yeah, great scene. Joe, in regards to this program, anything else that we didn't ask you about that parents would need to know, including how to register?
Well, I think you covered most of it. And as I said, we've pushed this out on our Facebook and Instagram. It's also on our webpage. Go check out the website. It's got this program. It's got everything else. It's under registration right now. Fall leagues are quickly coming to a close in July. Believe it or not, we've got fall basketball, volleyball, and soccer that are all going to be coming to a close. So if you want,
You mean registrations for those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you doing the fall basketball this year? Is it at 2000 or is it down in Randy
In the
Smith?
fall, it's at Randy Smith. So we
Okay.
bounce back and forth to try to meet the needs of everybody in the community.
Right.
And that fills up quick. We still have sponsorship opportunities for teams. It's a great a great chance to get your business name on
What
a
does
t-shirt.
a sponsor run this now?
It's $150 for a team. Yeah,
All right, well, I'll take 2.
great,
I'll take 2 teams.
great. anybody else.
Don't put them in the same league though, because I don't want one of my teams beating up on another one of my teams.
Okay.
You're guaranteed to win one.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's
go.
let me rethink that. But yeah, I'll drop a check by the rec center next couple days.
Perfect. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot.
because we're
Appreciate
definitely
it.
in. I've done that for years. I mean, I've probably sponsored 50, 75 teams through the years. If there are any business owners listening, it doesn't cost a lot, but the cool thing is you go into Walmart, you go into Martin's, and you see a kid wearing your business name
For years.
and you know you helped
Yeah.
them. And I mean, it's
I think my kids squeeze into some of those shirts. It's like 10 years later, at least my girls. I don't know how they're still doing it. It must have been pretty large when they were 8 years old or something.
Big shirts.
What is your need for coaches and volunteers to help with those programs?
It's never ending.
Okay.
We need coaches every single season. Most of the time, and you know how a new coach comes to be. You're a parent,
Right.
you go to the draft, or you see your team coming together. You get the talk from one of our staff that, hey, we need more coaches. You don't want to do it. You think you don't have time, but you decide to. 10 years later, you're still coaching. You know?
let me give the talk, because I've coached 30, 40 teams out there. It's beautiful. And you look back on it, and I still talk to my kids to this day. Remember that team when you were 10? We should have, we did this, we did that. You remember that game? Remember that? I mean, the joy of coaching your kids and of that extra time, you can't get it back. So if you're a parent and you're thinking, oh, I don't have the time, or oh, I don't know enough, you know enough. If you care, you know enough.
Yeah, you can learn.
You can learn,
You
but get
can
out there
learn.
and help.
Excuse me. It really is a great experience. I've had the experience this past year of hiring some kids that I coached when they were young, seeing some adults at the Thursday night concerts in the park that I coached when they were
Yes.
8 years old. I'm like, it's very nice.
Well, and they still come up to you and say, "Coach."
Yeah, they
I
do.
mean, it's beautiful.
Great
I
feeling.
believe it's the greatest honorific there is to be called you. And Rob, you know it, Matt. I mean, it's when a kid comes up and says, "Coach," or when you see a kid who's really successful that you coached, years ago, and they're telling you about their life, and I mean, it's just, that's one of the great things that I'm very thankful for. Is when I moved here, I'll tell this story quickly. I moved here in '96, and I had a couple of stepkids then before I had my kids, and I went to Steve, and I signed one of my kids up, and I went to Steve, and
Steve Catlett.
and I said, man, I'd really like to coach. He said, we're all, he said, for that league, we're pretty full with coaches. I said, I want to sponsor a team too. He said, oh, we got a spot for you. You can coach. and I sponsored every team my kids played on forever, and then a bunch of other teams, because Bobby Shaw would reach out to me and stuff. But yeah, I mean, put me on the list. I mean, always reach out to us when you need sponsors, because if I'm not thinking about it, sometimes I forget about it. But youth sports teach kids teamwork, hard work, everything else. I mean, athletes end up being successful members of our society, more so than anybody else. I mean, nothing against, athletes, band kids, anybody who's involved in something where it's a team effort, where it involves starting doing something where you're terrible and you're learning and you're training and you're practicing and you're getting better. There are no greater life lessons than that.
Joe, planning for the Inwood Park, how's that coming along?
So the county commission read some bids. I think that's been 2 weeks ago at their meeting. And I know right now they're taking a look at those bids and deciding how to move forward. So it's still in that early stage, but it's definitely moving forward.
And once those bids get accepted and it goes out, how much involvement do you have in that park?
In the actual construction phase, I don't personally have a lot of involvement. I'll have some interaction with maybe some minor choices or some input in the construction phase, but really we take over once it's built, and it comes down to operation and management.
How is the leak at War Memorial Park?
It's still going. It's still leaking just fine.
Yeah, and how much water are you losing a day?
Thousands of gallons.
Has the leak been identified and you just can't get to it, or is it still not identified?
There's multiple places in the liner. It's just failing. It's coming apart at its mechanical connections. And as soon as the pool season's over, we'll drain that pool. And we have a company coming in to remove the liner and evaluate our options. We'll either do repairs to the plaster underneath or replace the liner, whatever is more cost effective and will be, last longer for us.
What is a liner, just roughly, what is a liner for a pool that size, Ron? A lot.
A lot. Yeah, it's definitely into the six figures. But for this repair, we're expecting. It depends on the total scope, but it will be over 150, and it could be 300,000.
Do you guys look at federal grants for stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And the issue of federal grants is it's a long-term project. So we're currently still working on a federal grant for one piece of accessible playground equipment at War Memorial Park. So this is going into year 3 of this project for a $100,000 grant, and we're still in the bidding stage.
It's not that accessible if you can't get the money to put it up.
Yeah. So absolutely. The grants have been a huge help to the parks over the years. They'll continue to be, but those are for projects that you're planning well in advance.
Playground equipment has gotten ridiculously expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on in my community. I'm a president of the HOA, and we had to replace our jungle gyms about 2-3 years ago. That was sticker shock. I couldn't believe how much a bunch of molded plastic costs. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's right.
It's a very expensive procedure.
$100,000 doesn't go far at all. Playground equipment. No, not at all.
Yeah, it really is.
No, they don't. I mean, I miss the old metal. You burned yourself a little bit. It taught you a lesson.
It was good times.
The lesson was stay off it during a thunderstorm.
Live with the pain. Yeah, stay off it during a thunderstorm.
Yeah, Joe. In terms of we were having a discussion about another levy, perhaps potentially to fund Parks and Rec. Have you made any headway with that?
I have not made any headway. So right now that really rests in the hands of our county commission. They're considering a reply to that. We've done our presentation. I've answered a lot of questions one-on-one with the county commissioners. Really look forward to hearing their response. I haven't been able to get back on their agenda yet. I'd really like to see that come to a vote and a decision to be made on that.
And is their answer going to be yes, no, or an amount less than what you asked for? It obviously won't be an amount more than
definitely at their discretion to do any of those things. Ultimately, we need their permission to be able to run the levy, and as I said before, it's up to the voters to approve it or not approve it. So what we're asking the county commission to do is just enable us to get it on a ballot. And yes, they have the power to say how much they feel comfortable with presenting to the voters, and any of those 3 things, yes, no, or let's talk about the amount. And we've discussed all of those things.
You just want to leave it up to the voters.
I really do. I'm just looking for some financial stability. It's easy to say that, but we have zero money that's written into code or any kind of state law. We have nothing. So each year when we go to set a budget, we, fingers crossed, we're going to get the funding that we did last year. We get half the hotel motel. That's not written in any code. We're hoping that the city doesn't have some emergency that comes up where they have to take that from us, and the same with the county. The allocations, it's a year-by-year thing. There's nothing in advance that we know of. And we make those requests in February. We typically don't get an answer until much closer to the beginning of the fiscal year. And then we always have the county and the city doing their best to look at their budgets and say, do they have anything else to give us? But we don't get that kind of information until after the start of the new fiscal year. Well, it's very difficult to plan. I'm talking about hiring a new full-time person to run this program. How do you hire full-time staff when you don't know what your budget is? When you're starting at zero every single year, it's very difficult.
Fair point. Yeah. We've got a minute left. Matt, did you have a final question?
I just wondered, with as wet as this summer has been, what impact has that had on Parks and Rec?
Well, weather has really wreaked some havoc on our pool attendance. It's been a very interesting year. I guess every year is going to be different for pools, but this year, when it's a hot day and it's not a threat of thunderstorms, we have higher numbers than we've ever had. But then we have many days where people don't want to pay to go to the pool because there's a threat of rain. It's already raining. Or we had the beginning of the pool season where it's usually very busy. We had really cool weather for a while. So overall, our attendance is really down, even though we've had these crazy spikes with some very, very busy days.
And I'm sure you guys have had to mow like crazy.
It's
unbelievable.
And it never looks like we mowed.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, my lawn guy comes, it feels like he's there like every 3 days.
Joe, good to visit with you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Great talking to you. Thank you.
Joe Burton, Executive Director of Martinsburg, Berkeley County Parks and Rec. This is Talk Radio, WRNI Martinsburg, and TV 10. More to come.